You can see the differences when they're next to each other.
Why night cross in general is so desirable for collectors? Could you give advice to younger collectors who just joined the hobby? Hello everybody, this is WarStory video vlog. I am Alex and here is Dave. Hey Dave.
Hey Alex.
Nice to meet you here. So here at the Max Show 2024, we're gonna film really nice video about items that you asked in previous video. Yesterday I filmed this display and I asked what items you are interested in to see. So I collect some like main subjects and comments. So I have a list of items and I'm gonna ask you questions and it's gonna be something serious here. First question, how is business last few months?
But very good. Very good.
Did you buy something, like did you buy a lot?
We picked up 2 collections last month. They were pretty good. Actually, we didn't bring everything with us. We actually had to leave a lot of stuff home. 5 tables, only so much, but
And mostly German stuff or American also?
no, mostly German.
Okay.
Not a whole lot of American stuff, but no, we were fortunate. We got into some nice collections. We picked
Yeah,
up
that's
some
cool.
good
I
stuff.
saw pictures and I see this display. That's incredible, actually. So you guys asked about Fallschirmjäger helmets, German Eagle Order, Knight's Cross, Japanese swords, gravity knives, General Staff Corps, armbands, and porcelain. Unfortunately, we cannot show you porcelain or Japanese swords. It's going to be in next videos in other tables, right?
Yes.
Or you have something?
We have it. We just don't have it here.
Okay, but we can start like from the beginning. The paratrooper helmet. Could you show us what do you have?
All right. So this is the only para that we have. But honestly, if we're going to have a para, this is kind of the one you want to have. So this is a camouflage chicken wire paratrooper helmet. And what's special about this one, I don't have the whole group. This actually is a grouping. This was sent home by a U.S. veteran who was at Monte Cassino. He was in the military police. And his whole uniform's included. There's an armband, MP armband. He was at West Point. A lot of paperwork with that. But what's really neat is there's a photo album while he was in Italy. And then, there's photos around Monte Cassino, just various things. But what's neat is there's one photo of him, and he writes underneath of it, packing the German helmet.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that I bought this from was an older gentleman. He bought it directly from the vet. And he said that in that photo, he's packing this helmet.
Was it possible to recognize it by photo?
We can't see the helmet.
Oh, okay.
But so that, what was kind of disappointing was he said, I have the box. I have that box here.
Wow.
So I was really excited, and I said, well, we need to find the box. We have to get this box. And we looked for hours, and he thinks he might have accidentally thrown it out with some other stuff in the garage. So it was like, but it is what it is. We have the helmet and everything else, but it's pretty cool. It's definitely.
Can I see it?
Let me pull that out.
And we can see here like classic stuff when wounded or
KIA, killed in action
soldier was laying on the ground, and troops who have to carry them, they just cut.
Yeah, they would cut the straps because these are so difficult to remove.
Yeah.
At the time they didn't care. It was just
So
cut
this
it,
is
get
a
it off.
sign of action. Yeah, that's actually like kind of dramatic.
Oh, yeah, that's from extensive wear. Sweat, that thing, the leather soaking the sweat up, and then it just stretching as it's moving on his head. Yeah, the German that wore it for a long time.
So this is
that's a frontline combat.
And actually, great thing about this helmet that nobody put new straps on this one, because it's gonna be like ruined, I think this condition and those original straps is much better than just new ones.
Honestly, yeah, it would be a sin if you tried to change that, because the wire is tied in. Actually, you should get this on the camera.
Yeah.
But you see how the wire actually goes through the pad, and it is tied in underneath.
Oh yeah.
So you see how it goes over here, but under here.
Yeah.
You could not get this out without removing the wire, and then if you do that, you'll destroy it.
Yeah, it's gonna be ruined. That's cool. Super impressive. Thanks for showing. Next subject is Knights Cross, German Knights Cross, and you have couple things related with this comment.
We
Could you
have a
show us?
view. All right, we'll start with the one you have. So the
Okay.
one you have is that's an L12 Junker Knights Cross. It's kind of like they consider the holy grail of Knights Crosses. Everybody wants the L12 marked ones. They're very hard to find now. And this is the correct box for it with a mushroom push button. A lot of times you'll see, like the later ones have, it's a post with a little grommet around it, but the earlier ones are mushroom. Very hard case to find.
Can you tell our viewers, collectors, why Junker is so desirable maker mark in Knights Cross stamp?
So Junker is like it's the brand name for medals and badges. And they're desired because they made quality items, and also the factory was bombed at the end of the war, so all the dies were destroyed. So they did not survive to where they could be reused later to make a fake. So it's impossible. You know, you have companies like, you know, Daimler and Steinhauer and Look, prime example. They continued to make stuff after the war for GIs as souvenirs.
Yeah.
So the dies survived, right?
And
Eventually they
have, like,
wore
old,
out very
yeah,
quick.
Old machines, old...
Right. Junker did not.
Yeah.
Everything was destroyed.
It's a lot of Knights Cross on the market, but how many like Junkers in percentage on the market? If you take all Knights Cross and like 10, 15, 20%
Or
of them are Junkers
of what exists in collections or on the market.
on the market.
On the market, very few Junkers. Very few.
It's like less than 5% or 20%.
Now, Knights Crosses in general are quite rare. Usually what you'll see come up on the market right now is Klein and Quenzers, which is what I have in my hand, or Steinhauer. Look, you do see Junkers pop up, so I don't know, maybe 25% will be Junker.
Okay.
Maybe it all depends at the certain time. Sometimes you'll see 2 or 3 Junkers for sale.
Yeah, especially if somebody just like if collection pop up.
Yeah, I mean I've purchased collections where we bought 10 Knights Crosses out of it, which is rare.
Why Knight Cross in general is so desirable for collectors?
It's in a sense it's Germany's Medal of Honor. So, and it's, you know, it's also that Iron Cross design. So it already has a pretty striking appeal. But then, you know, you pair it with the fact that it's Germany's Medal of Honor, and they only did this award during the Second World War, so it only existed for 5.5 years. So I think it's just a lot of people just kind of look at it as, that it's just like that ultimate award that you can own as a collector, if you will.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I agree. It's for some people, it could be just one award they want to put as a war souvenir in remembrance of their grandfather who was GI or Soviet veteran. So, which is really
when I
cool.
started, that's what I wanted.
Yeah,
that's the only one that I wanted.
Exactly.
And I
For me, the
saved
same.
for a long time.
For me,
and at that time, they were $7,000.
This one is interesting also. Could you tell us?
So this is Klein and Quenzer. This is another one of the Knights Cross producers. So these guys, this one you'll find, these aren't as expensive as the Junkers. They are desirable. I mean, all Knights Crosses are desirable. But you want to show the differences? We can show. I think you can see it real easy.
Yeah.
You can see the differences. When they're next to each other, the first thing you'll see is Klein and Quenzer has this large donut. It's like a thick donut eyelet. And this one is thinner. This is a trademark of Klein and Quenzer. It also has a matte black finish. Earlier Junkers will have more of a satin or a gloss finish when they're earlier. Now the Lazy 2s will have a matte finish. That's what they did and that's like a 44 production. The arms on the Klein and Quenzers are straighter, and then the tips are a little bit pointier on the Klein and Quenzer, whereas Junkers, the frame corners actually came in too far on the Junkers, so to fit the swastika center core in, they actually filed them, kind of like filed them, they rounded them over, and that's to fit that swastika in here. On the back side, this one's marked L12. Klein and Quenzers, you'll never see it marked on the frame. You will see a 65 that'll be marked on the ring, sometimes on the later ones. But that's kind of your main differences.
That's cool.
Other than if you want to get into die flaws.
But in price difference in percentage, is it like twice more expensive or like 30%?
I think now Junkers are 5 to 7,000 more than a Klein and Quenzer.
Oh wow!
They're pretty. I mean, they're pretty desirable.
Yeah.
And that's the number. I mean, you could see the difference in the two. And this is the Junkers just has a better look.
Yeah, that's true.
But they each
this
have
one
their own.
in better condition also in
This
box condition.
This is all. Yeah, this is box condition.
Yeah, that's cool.
But some people like the Klein and Quenzers better. It's just that's what's neat about the hobby is that there's different makers and different designs of the same thing. So
yeah, and it looks cool when it's like the two like similar pieces displaying together. It's a 1 point, and also it's better if you don't need this one, you can buy something more affordable and put, for example, like a SS dagger next to
and
this
still
one.
have a real Knight's Cross.
And there is something special on the display: oak leaves with diamonds and swords, but it's post-war made,
It
right?
is post-war.
Yeah. Could you show us and like tell background story about this one?
So these were made. So this set was made by Klein sometime in the 1950s, and this is a replacement set for Diamonds winners who got them during the war. Like they lost their set, or maybe they didn't get them. But it's made in the same way. It's not the exact same. It's not a real one, and it's also made of silver. Whereas the real ones, the A's are made out of platinum. The B sets are made out of gold.
So this is a post-war production on actually factory, and this one still has difference with period production. Correct?
Yes.
And this is a very important question because some people doesn't know post-war examples has like difference compared to like war period items, and they think there is a myth that after war German factories could produce exactly the same items like in war period. And how can you say this one is post-war?
Main reason, it's made of silver, and it's marked though. It's actually marked on the back. Like I said, the A types are made out of platinum. The B types are made out of gold, and this is a silver one. Because after the war, it wasn't the German government that was paying for these; it was the recipients themselves who were buying them. So they're not going to spend the money on real gold and real diamonds. So this is their fake stones and silver.
Did they use the same stamp like in wartime?
It's a similar stamp. It's the same type of or same design of stamp, not the same stamp. And this is also a multi-piece construction, just like the originals, where there's multiple layers to the oak leaves. There's actually I haven't counted how many pieces are there, but there's probably at least 5 or 6 different pieces to the oak leaves alone.
So this is a wrong material and wrong stamps, but if this item could have correct stamps and correct material like platinum, could you tell difference between post-war and period one?
Yeah, you would still be able to tell. The dyes that were used, it's different than the wartime. There's main differences with this, like with the oak leaves themselves and the swords, and then the general construction. The wartime ones are made. They are really works of art. There are multiple pieces to the swords, multiple pieces to the oak leaves, and the seams on them are almost invisible.
But it's actually exactly the same in German daggers, because German daggers that has been produced after the war, it's also like there are so many different details. Could be looks correct, but it's just assembled wrong, and
you have to know.
Yeah,
You have to know.
So, but it's still nice piece, and it costs like not that expensive like original ones.
No, not compared to an original.
Maybe like 10 times less.
Yeah.
Next comment was about gravity knives. So, this is only gravity knife you have. Did you sold?
I think we sold 1 or 2.
Okay.
That's the only one left.
I can tell about gravity knives because this is the first model. In general, there are like few producers of gravity knives. In first model, it's like a Helbig, SMF, Weisberg, some more rare pieces. And second model has just a button here, and you can take it down and take it apart.
Take it apart to clean it.
To clean, yeah, because it was very well known issue with first model gravity knives. When paratroopers got the ground and sand just got in their pockets, it's just stuck forever.
Yep.
Blades stuck in the gravity knife body, and that's it. So
That's
you,
it.
you you don't have knife anymore, and if it happens, and in Leningrad area, when we find in dug up, when we find gravity knives, it's only first model. Even it was 1941, 1943,
Yeah.
and also sometimes you can find knife with broken tip of blade took out of the body
Yeah.
only for the like 50%, you know. So it got stuck. He tried to pull it,
And he broke it
yeah,
off.
broken, and just trash it. So sometimes
That's very interesting.
yes. So gravity knives, I love this term. That's really cool. I filmed video for like Russian speaking channel, and probably I can film it for English speaking channel also. But also at this table we have one, and this one is really nice actually. Next them is German Eagle order. Can you take a look?
Yeah.
Those orders look super cool. I mean, like it was super desirable war souvenir because just imagine you are like an uncle of somebody, and
Yeah.
you bring it and like look at the stuff that I brought.
Honestly, for the GIs, like I'll take Klesheim because it's the most famous horde when the GIs found during the war. But I mean, you break into like the Klesheim horde, I mean, these things, you got these lined up. The visual appeal of them is so much more striking than a Knight's Cross or a set of oak leaves. So the GIs grab these guys.
Sure, and it was like, but it actually it's surprising, but it's not that expensive. So as a
No.
decoration is like really cool. So can you tell our subscribers who wore it?
So these were they were given to like foreign dignitaries, diplomats. Like for instance, Henry Ford got the sash version. I think
Henry Ford in Detroit.
Henry Ford, yep,
Yeah, cool.
of Ford Motors got the yep. Charles Lindbergh, he also got the sash version. But going back to Ford, there's a photo of him wearing the sash, and it's actually it's pretty neat. You know,
Yeah.
obviously it's before the war.
Yeah, sure.
But they're very overlooked. There are multiple different grades. I think there's a 37 pattern, there's a 43 pattern.
And when you see like pictures of whole collection of those orders, it's like looks pretty expensive. I mean, like it looks something.
And the higher ones can be, as you know,
Yeah.
but they're really, I mean, for what they look like, they're very inexpensive.
Yeah, that's true. And the last comment was about armbands, but you don't have a lot of armbands.
We didn't
today.
bring many.
Okay, but I see cuff titles here, and I already asked about it. We can replace armbands to cuff titles, and explain about armbands like next time. You have
Cuff titles are cooler.
Yeah. You have, and it's like SS related, so
Yes.
this is your collection, right?
Yes. These are not for sale yet. I'm just going to pull. This one actually should be in there because that is actually not a real one.
Okay. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nice ones. Yeah. Can you tell us about them?
So this is the 1943 Bevo pattern. This is for, and actually there's a very convenient little card here.
Mm-hmm.
For the first SS, this is the LAH, the Leibstandarte. These are the guys that started out as Hitler's bodyguard and eventually, you know, became a full Panzer division. Mm-hmm. They were involved in the war from the very beginning all the way to the end. But this is, again, 43 standard pattern. Really, this design was made to produce very quick for combat uniforms. Mm-hmm. And then the next one, this is a flat wire Das Reich, crazy rare. This is really tough one to find. This one's tunic removed, but flat wire is also for officer. And this is a later cello flat wire, which is like it's done in like the thin silver wire, but it's not a silver wire. It's like I call it a grayish wire, if you will.
Okay.
And then Frundsberg, this is a really tough one to find. These guys fought against the Americans in Normandy.
Okay.
This is a very desirable. What's really cool with this one, this is why this is not out, is you can see that this thing was worn frontline and then taken off of a uniform very meticulously because it is still actually a full length, but you can see where the seam was, where it was joined. So that's like a time capsule one. So not only is it a really rare division to find, it's also tunic removed and just has everything for it.
And tunic removed ones cost more or less? More.
Yeah, combat
makes
worn
sense.
is. I mean, it was there. But that's that stuff. That's what you want.
And I'm watching now a TV show about Band of Brothers, and this one is super cool. I used to see it like maybe like 10 years ago, but
Yeah.
now I watch it again, and I just trying to mention as much as I can moments about war souvenirs. Like guys going for Lugers and guys going for war souvenirs,
Yep.
and for insignia also, because it was very desirable war souvenir when you cut something from your like enemy that you captured or killed, and it was like in all countries did that because Germans cut like a collar tabs from Soviet soldiers who they captured in like first days of Soviet invasion. And American GIs did the same, and they appreciated it actually, because without that tradition, we couldn't get so many war souvenirs in like one place.
These shows wouldn't exist.
So we gotta appreciate veterans who brought that stuff back and who gave us permission to collect this stuff in our days.
Yeah, they were the first collectors.
Exactly. So thank you very much for showing your stuff and for showing your items. I'm glad you always open to do videos and explain some like tutorials, make tutorials for our viewers. It's like always entertaining, and many people greetings you from Russia, from Greece, from Germany, from United States, like Russian speaking people who cannot contact you.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well.
You started growing up your own company, which is also really cool, and we can film more videos together. If you guys want, don't hesitate to place comment about it in comment section under this video. And in the very end of the video, could you give advice to younger collectors who just joined the hobby?
When you first get into this hobby, you know, there's a lot of different angles in this. There's edged weapons, there's helmets, there's uniforms, there's insignia, there's medals and badges. The absolute best thing that you can do is first pick an area that you like. If you like blades, go with blades. And then break that down. If you like blades, start with army daggers. Learn army daggers. Learn everything that you can. And then you move to Luftwaffe daggers. Because the knowledge that you build from learning one, you will start to be able to apply to others as you learn. And that is really how you have to go about learning this. You have to start at the bottom and you work your way up. And then it's just, after you kind of master that, you move on to something else. I started with badges. And I did infantry assault badges. The first thing I did, I learned about them, went to Panzers, went to General Assaults, went to close combat, just went all the way through. I started going into the other stuff when I ran my ads, and I learned about it. I was actually quite fortunate, because I was running ads, I was buying from vet families. So I was kind of the tail end of that generation that was able to do that. It's not as easy anymore to buy from vet families. So anyway, I was picking up helmets and learning about them as I was going. But it really, the thing is just pick one thing and go with that. Learn as much as you can.
Step by step. Don't put everything together, right?
Yeah, don't go jumping and buying a whole bunch of stuff. It's you could get burned pretty easily, and that's always a big deterrent. A lot of guys get out. So
that's actually very valuable advice, and everybody who can see it offline agree. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your display. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't hesitate, place a comment in comment section. Thank you for watching this video until the end. Thank you again, and see you
Thank you
soon. Bye.